started. High def with the proof.
Greasy Says.
What up, greasy people? Wow, is my voice... Yeah, my voice is going to be extra sexy today. I've been losing my voice off and on for the last, 4 or 5 days. It's pretty awesome sometimes. Sometimes it's terrible. Especially when I sound like this and I wake up in the morning, I'm like, good morning, everyone. It's probably terrifying. Welcome back to another episode of Greasy Says. My name is Greasy, a.k.a. M-Cue. And here on Greasy Says, we talk about the gaming industry. We talk about trends into the gaming industry, things I like, things I don't like, as well as other things about my personal life, about technology, about movies, about, in this episode, for example, pharmaceutical drugs and why marketing people from the pharmaceutical industry should stay the fuck away from video games because those motherfuckers are out of control. They're almost as bad as people who advertise for banks or credit cards. I mean, these people are veteran liars. I mean, every single person who works in a marketing team for a pharmaceutical drug, for a pharmaceutical company or a bank, all of y'all can be a CEO. Every single last one of y'all has the potential to be a CEO because you lie constantly. And you lie, it becomes so easy after a while, you get really good at it. And then you don't even think about that it's a lie anymore. You just, yeah, this is what we do. I believe my own fucking lie. I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid. Which happens to be the title of the previous episode. I hope you listened to it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Talking about, how we get religious sometimes with our beliefs. Like Nintendo fans turn this shit into a religion. You ever talk bad about Smash Brothers motherfuckers coming up to your house with pitchers and forks and torches and shit? You know what I'm saying? Pitchforks and torches. So don't get too caught up with the Kool-Aid. Anyway, I hope y'all been listening to episodes, you know what I'm saying? I know I've been looking at the numbers and they've been kind of, I don't know, going down if I'm perfectly honest. I don't know if it's because, I've been slacking on the social media a little bit. I haven't been pushing as hard, putting out as many clips. Maybe that's it. You know, you got to stay in people's fucking peripherals at all time in this fucking media landscape. If you ain't making noise, then you disappear. So maybe I'm slacking on that. Or maybe folks are busy. Maybe folks have that shit going on in their lives. Maybe folks fell off of the podcast. They're like, I'm sick of hearing this motherfucker talk every week. I know that's not all of y'all, because I know the loyal heads keep coming back. I see y'all. But yeah, we just got to grow the greasiness. I got to work on growing the greasies again. Get, spreading that shit around. Get these numbers back up. But thank you to everybody who's listening. Thank you for your patronage. I'm going to keep grinding. Even if my voice is fucked. So I was watching TV the other night. I don't usually watch network TV or cable TV because I don't even have cable at the crib. Like, who gives a fuck about cable? Why do we have cable? To watch commercials? That's pretty much the only reason to have cable. So I was staying somewhere and it had cable, so I was watching some TV. And this drug ad came on, right? This is why I thought about pharmaceutical people and how fucking full of shit they are. This drug came on called Ingressa, right? Look up this shit. It's a drug to stop TD. TD is, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but it's tardive dyskinesia. Tardive dyskinesia? I'm not sure. But basically, this disease, tardive dyskinesia, is a side effect of an antipsychotic medication. These drugs are used to treat schizophrenia and other mental health disorders. I'm getting this off of WebMD. TD, this disease that is caused by, as a side effect of antipsychotic drugs, by the way, This disease, TD, causes stiff, jerky movements of your face and body that you can't control. You might blink your eyes, stick out your tongue, or wave your arms without meaning to do so. So basically, involuntary spasms that you have no control over or no idea that they're happening. Or maybe you do know. Not everyone who takes antipsychotic drugs will get it, but if it happens, it's sometimes permanent. Permanent, dog. You know what I mean? All right, so there's this fucked up shit. Uncontrolled movements of your face, namely your lips, jaw, or tongue. You might stick out your tongue without trying, without meaning to. You might blink your eyes fast. You might chew for no fucking reason. You might smack or pucker your lips for no fucking reason. You might puff out your cheeks for no fucking reason. You might frown. You might even grunt. You might be sitting there going, I mean, like straight up Tourette's, dog. All right? TD is a side effect of another pharmaceutical. What the actual fuck? You take an antipsychotic medication to try to fix your brain, and the side effect is a physical manifestation that you can't control, so you look even more fucking crazy? What the fuck? And I'm saying this is the future, dog. This is the future. Drugs to fix the effects of other drugs. It's been happening for a long time. You know what I mean? You take some shit for herpes, and then you gotta take some shit to deal with the side effects from the herpes so you don't fucking die, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This is the future. We've seen it in technology where devices are designed to break down. Devices are designed to be obsolete in a couple years. Devices are designed to lead you on a track, like every Apple product. If you buy this, you gotta buy this. If you want to fix that shit, you gotta buy this shit. Oh, your shit's fucked up? Buy a new one. It's a cycle of obsolescence. It's a cycle that keeps you chained and a slave to product. And pharmaceutical companies are masters of it, and they do it perfectly legally and fully promoted. The audacity to put this fucking drug out there to fix a side effect of a drug that you made. You don't even give a fuck anymore. You don't care about people. You don't care about nothing. It's all about profit. It's all about profit, because you know you have to test these things before you put them out in the world. So you know that motherfuckers was twitching before you put the original drug out, whatever the fuck it was. And you knew that they were gonna have to come back and get treatment for that side effect. So all of us motherfuckers with the COVID vaccine, I'm not trying to be no fucking redneck who said, don't get the vaccine, goddamn government's trying to fucking take over. I'm not saying any of that shit, but I'm just saying, we put a lot of trust in a fucking couple of pharmaceutical companies that do not have our best interests in mind. So if COVID vaccine side effects start popping up and we need more drugs to counteract that shit, I'm not gonna be surprised. Which is why I'm saying we gotta keep these type of motherfuckers out of the gaming industry. Because the gaming industry is already rife with this toxic, fucking predatory shit. Teaching kids how to gamble at a young age, hitting that dopamine up, just fucking manipulating your mind left and right, making you spend hundreds of dollars on NBA 2K and all this bullshit. If the pharmaceutical marketing people, if they fucking get in games and they're able to sink their fucking claws like that into games, and as soon as games start becoming even more invasive into your mind, like how VR is on another level of just staring at your TV, the next thing beyond VR, smell-o-vision, whatever the fuck it is, hair-o-vision, you know what I mean? Tickle your dick-o-vision, you know what I mean? Whatever that is, we gotta watch out, because they're guaranteed to be, as game developers, we try to create addicts, straight up and down. That is part of making a game. Make it addictive, make it so people don't want to stop playing. That's how we all design games, right? We ain't trying to make it so that a motherfucker play for 5 minutes and then go do something else. We trying to keep the motherfucker in here. Mao, son, how many fucking players are we getting per minute, per hour? You know what I mean? So you let pharmaceutical people get up inside of gaming, it's gonna be a fucking wrap. At that point, I'm out of bounce. Know what I mean? There's a lot of grimy ass shit in games to begin with right now, and it's becoming less and less of an enticing industry just from like a moral standpoint, depending on who you work for. It's a slippery slope, y'all. Watch this shit, man. As soon as you start seeing, oh, the head of fucking marketing is ex-Pfizer fucking president or whatever, yo, start packing your fucking shit. Get your fucking banker's box and start putting all your fucking knickknacks up inside of there, because you're gonna be working for some fucked up people, man. For real. Since we're talking about medicals and pharmaceuticals and the business of being well, I've been watching this show on Hulu. I'm not trying to promote Hulu. Fuck Hulu. They're not public. I can't buy their stock. I don't give a fuck about them. But this show, yo, The Patient. Have y'all watched The Patient? Dog. It's the best new show I've found. I haven't finished watching the first season now, even though if it's just one season. It's like a mini series or what. But this shit is pure flames, man. It's Steve Carell and dude who has a fucked up name who I can't remember right now. But he was in I can't remember what he was in. But this cat is a funny looking white dude. Creepy looking dude. And he plays the part of a creepy white dude perfectly in this fucking show. But like, Steve Carell, man, this guy, I'm not gonna even tell you about the show. You should just go fucking find out about it. It's called The Patient. Go look at it. It's great. It's on Hulu. But Steve Carell, all right? Let's talk about Steve Carell. Steve Carell is a fucking G. Know what I mean? This dude he knows what he's doing. Dudes was on The Office, ran that shit all until it was stale, damn near until it was stale. Hopped out, let that shit be stale for another 2 seasons or whatever. Went on to do his thing. Started doing movies, started executive producing this and that and this and that and this, because he had all that fucking money now. But this dude executive produced everything that he's in, including this show, The Patient. He's executive producer on that. This dude is like making sure all his money works for him and going towards projects he believes in. I love that. I love folks who do that, who stand behind their ideals, their passion with money, with their own money, not other people's money. Even though you still need a lot of other people's money to get shit done. That's just the way it goes. But then on the flip side, I was thinking, yo, you ever really watch Steve Carell? You ever really watch that dude? I think that dude has like some truly under the surface depression and a dark side. Real dark side. Like, you looking at that dude's eyes, even in the funniest parts of The Office, and all you see is like pain. You know what I mean? Like, really look at that dude's face, look at his eyes, and you can see that dude have dark thoughts, man. That guy, as funny as he is, he got dark thoughts rolling around in there. And I'm just saying, let's keep an eye on Steve. All right? I don't want another Robin Williams, so let's keep an eye on Steve. All right? That's my be nice to a white guy moment for the week. Keep an eye on Steve. Anyway, let's get down to the show. Remember, you could reach out to me on social media. Hit me up. Let me know if I'm not posting enough. That might be it. Hit me up on Greasy Says under TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And I'm on Twitter under at M_CUE or M-CUE on Twitter. But you could also write in now to the Greasy Says, like using greasysays@gmail.com. So send me your thoughts, send me sweet links or stories or shit I should check out, games I should check out. Actually got a great recommendation that I'll talk about in today's show from a homie that I saw personally, who gave me a game recommendation. I've been playing that shit and I am hooked. I'll let y'all know about what that shit is coming up real soon. But yeah, hit me up on social media. Also check out M-CUE M-Cue on Spotify. Get my streams up. I got music out there. Go check that shit out. M-Cue on Bandcamp, M-Cue on Soundcloud. Go check that shit out. Show your love. Spend a little change if you're feeling generous, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, let's kick off the show. Remember, you could always reach out to me and tell me what key you want the show to be in. And I'll write all the music in the show to that key. That's how dope Greasy Says is. I'm just saying. So let's pick a key and get a vocati.
Today's key is sickness.
So I live in an old house, right?
Yep.
And, you know, in every old house, there's going to be like spiders.
Ew.
There's spiders all over the place in my house.
Ah, get off me.
In most people's houses, you just don't see them. They're everywhere.
Don't tell me that.
They got me thinking about how video games portray spiders.
Great.
I don't think there's a single game where a spider is the protagonist in a game, except maybe one. There was this game back in the day for Super Nintendo. Let me look this shit up. Maybe it was Super Nintendo where you actually were a spider. Like you played a spider. Oh, my bad. It was actually on PlayStation. Came out in 97. And it was just called Spider, the video game. I mean, all right. But this shit look wacky as hell. It's like a spider with a gun and a knife as one of their hands, one of their arms on the cover. Is that actually what it was like?
Oh shit, is that a spider? Kill it, kill it. Oh shit, what the fuck? Ah!
I'm checking his YouTube video. Holy shit. Wow, it looks terrible. It looks worse than some of the most basic PS1 games. Yeah, so you a spider walking around collecting power-ups, avoiding obstacles like flamethrowers that are on a computer desk, climbing up on a PlayStation looking thing. It's real simple, but apparently you can attack and blow up other spiders. I didn't know spiders were explosive like that. This shit look horrible. Wow. Spider the video game on PS1 by Boss Studios. By Boss Game Studios. But I could have sworn there was another game. Was there an arachnophobia game? Yeah, there was an arachnophobia game. But that was way back on like Commodore 64 and Amiga and shit. Made back in 91. It claims that it's a shoot 'em up. Let's watch some gameplay in real time and see. I don't think I ever bought this because I was just like, oh, this is based on a movie. Shit's gonna suck. You gotta identify spiders in this game? Yeah, this ain't no fucking... This ain't nothing that serious. You drive around in a truck? Looking for spiders or something? What's going on here? Yeah, you trying to exterminate spiders? You're like a little dude. You're like a dude an exterminator coming through, trying to spray spiders with this green mist, but apparently you can't duck. Is that what's going on here? Or are you playing the spider trying to get away from the... I'm confused. I'm so confused. Without playing this thing, I don't know what to make of it. I think you're the exterminator. Anyway, who gives a fuck? Anyway, spiders, right, are one of those things in video games where if you're arachnophobic, I know there's people out there who just have to drop the controller when they see a spider enemy in a video game. And usually spider enemies, they go crazy with it. You know what I mean? It's usually giant spiders. It's usually demonic looking spiders trying to kill you, spraying you with web and spawning a million other spiders, that kind of stuff. And there's, various lists online about the best spiders in video games, citing things as such as like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess had a big spider boss. Metro Last Light has some spider shit. Obviously Skyrim has some spiders. I remember those. Bloodborne has a vacuous spider, which is disgusting looking. The spider from Limbo. Y'all remember that shit? Basically a silhouette spider. That one was particularly creepy. This site is claiming head crabs is a kind of spider. I guess you could say head crabs is a kind of spider. If so, it's one of the most terrifying goddamn spider enemies in a game. Shit grabs onto your face, alien style. That's no fun. Dark Souls had Chaos Witch Quillag. Fuck Dark Souls, so I don't know what the fuck that is. It's some woman's torso inside of a spider body. Typical Japanese shit. And then the classic Resident Evil, just a giant spider. They got a few of those in Resident Evil throughout the series. Those can be creepy. What else we got? Silitha from Darksiders. I played the shit out of that game. I don't remember that boss, but there's a spider boss and that shit. So they got a lot of spiders in video games as enemies, but not a whole lot of games where you play as a spider. And like with Stray coming out and you playing as a pussycat, running around doing shit, how come somebody don't make us a game about being a spider? Just being a good spider, or a spider trying to mind your own business and catch flies and mosquitoes and shit. Not trying to bite no humans and fuck people up and nothing like that. Let's make a game about some decent spiders just doing normal spider shit. So that we stop making this phobia of spiders even worse. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. And like, think about how we make spiders sound in video games. It's usually like squealy, like that kind of shit, like squeaky. Like spiders don't actually sound like that in real life. Where did we get that one from? Or they make crazy roaring sounds, like in a Resident Evil game maybe, or in like one of those big boss battles in fucking Dark Souls or something. You know, they make that shit sound crazy. But that's not how spiders sound. Spiders are quiet individuals. They just kind of do their thing quietly. So we are misrepresenting spiders.
Spiders go home. Spiders go. Oh shit! Watch out!
And like nowadays in games, there's a lot of like, accessibility options, like colorblind options and options to turn off like obscene commentary or like bad language from characters or whatever, turn off that dialogue. There's even arachnophobia settings in some games now where it turns off all the spiders or replaces the spiders with other types of enemies, because they realize that spiders in video games are pretty like traumatic little things, and totally unrealistically traumatic, because spiders aren't malicious like most spiders in most video games. They even had a mod for Skyrim, I remember this, that turned every spider in the game into a bear, just so people wouldn't have to fight no spiders. I'm sorry, but a bear freaks me out way the fuck more than any fucking spider, unless it's like one of those, what do you call them? The brown something spider?
You'll get there.
There's like a spider that's like the size of a fucking football or something like that. It's a big ass spider that if it bites you, it leaves these giant lesions on your skin.
That's true.
That like never heal or some crazy shit like that. It's like a brown recluse spider, I think.
Hey, he got it.
That's the most terrifying spider. But like every single bear will murder your face. But somehow a bear is more acceptable than a spider. Is an acceptable replacement for a spider in Skyrim. How the fuck does that work? Huh? How'd that work? And people are fine with that. If a bear walked up in my room, I can't swat that shit with a newspaper. I gotta run, play dead, depending on the bear type. You know what I mean? I don't have to fucking hide tie my fucking food to a tree to hide from no spider. Bears are way more terrifying. So yeah, I'm pleading to all you game developers out there, all y'all quirky game developers, make a game about a spider that's not about how terrifying a spider is. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy that shit. I'll play that shit.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. And then he didn't do anything else and left everybody alone.
What you play, what you play, what you play, what you playing? What are you playing?
What you playing?
On the last episode of Greasy Says, what was it? Season 2, episode 15. I mentioned how certain games are like jobs and how a lot of job games are killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? People love playing games where you just do a job like Farming Simulator or Truck Driver Simulator or Mud Tires or whatever, Spin Tires or whatever that shit is.
Gas station attendant simulator. Napkin folder simulator.
Where you're doing a job over and over, the most mundane shit, but people play that shit for hours on end and have a great time.
Walmart greeter simulator.
And I was talking to a homie of mine recently, and they recommended Hardspace Shipbreaker. All right? It took me like 4 times of them telling me what the name of the game was for me to remember it finally. I had to write the shit down. Hardspace, Shipbreaker. Pretty self-explanatory title. You're in space and it's hard. And you're breaking down ships. That's the whole game. You are a dude, a person, a dude or a woman, and you work for a company where your job is to break down ships and trash them, basically. Take their parts and dispose of them or recycle them. And you use your little laser or your cutter or whatever and your sort of anti-grav gun to tear the ship to pieces and recycle it. That sounds mundane, but let me tell you, this game is so much fun, dog, because like you're out there, you're in space, you're trying to break apart this ship, but a ship is a complex piece of machinery. So you got to think about how you're going to break this thing down because the shit weighs a ton. You don't want the shit floating off into, you cut a piece away and half of the ship goes floating off into space. You just lost all your profits. You know what I'm saying? Or you decide to cut through the hull of a ship, but everything inside is still under pressure. So you have explosive decompression all of a sudden, and your ass get thrown off into, somewhere around Saturn or some shit just because you cut the ship open the wrong way. Or like they got reactors that'll blow up, or fuel containers that will catch on fire and burn up all the expensive parts of a ship before you get to recycle it. So it's a mad strategic game, and you got to be careful. You got to think through how you're gonna disassemble this ship. It's mad fun. I didn't even think it could be this fun, but it's crazy fun. I've been enjoying the shit out of it. Great music, kind of like a honky-tonk, westerny, country-ish vibe to some of the music. Makes you feel like you're one of those guys, you know what I mean? They took our jobs kind of guys. I enjoy it. And I will say, Hardspace Shipbreaker has one of the best fatuis. If you don't know what a fatui is, F-T-U-E, fatui, stands for first time user experience. That just means that when you start a game for the first time, it's the experience that introduces you to all of the controls, all the mechanics, how the game works. It spoon feeds you mechanics. It spoon feeds you aspects of the game so that you learn how to play the game better before they let you loose on the game, on the real game itself. You know what I mean? Like press X to attack, press A to jump, that kind of thing. This game has one of the best fatuis that I've ever experienced. It drops you into the lore so deep and commits you to the lore so completely that by the time you start the game, you're both completely invested in the world and in the story. And you have a very strong sense of hopelessness because of how well they laid out the story. You're in debt up to your eyeballs and you're probably never going to get out. And working for this company that you're working for, breaking down these ships, you have to pay them to work for them. So you're always in debt, which is goddamn poetic, because I feel like some of the world is going in that direction. Where if you want to work for a company, you have to dedicate your entire life to that company. You have to owe that company money. And the only way to work off your debt is to work for the company doing a job that will barely pay off your debt. So you're basically a slave. So they tell you that you're a slave at the beginning of this game, and you still like playing it. I do anyway. Anyway, this game is fantastic. I think it's on every next-gen console. It was developed in Unity. Fantastic game. I highly recommend it. I think it's on sale right now, but even if it's not, it's one of those I think you could buy off a sale and still be satisfied, still be happy. Let me know what y'all think. Remember, greasysays at gmail.com. That's where you can reach out to me. Let me know what you think. And thanks for the recommendation, Dan. It's time for a little dope or dumb. In case you're new, dope or dumb is when I examine something in games or in media or whatever, in entertainment, that's either dope or kind of dumb.
Dope or dumb?
Movie events. Y'all seen this kind of shit, this phenomenon happening recently? Where when a new movie comes out, like for example, Hocus Pocus just came out, Hocus Pocus 2. Fucking witch movie from the, 90s or something? They did a remake, because they remake everything, because nothing is new. And they call the premiere of this thing a movie event. The Hocus Pocus 2 movie event. What is that? What does that even mean? I know it's a movie event. It's a movie coming out. It's called a movie. It's not a movie event. Me waking up in the morning is not a waking event. I just woke up. You know what I mean? When I take a shit, it's not a shitting event. I just took a shit. Why are we blowing this shit out of proportion? Why are we falsely inflating how exciting this thing is? Like, it's a movie. If I want to see it, I'm going to go see it. I don't need you to tell me it's an event. I'm not going to put on a fucking tuxedo to go see fucking Hocus Pocus 2. Relax. Disney is mainly guilty of this kind of shit. You know what I mean? A lot of movie studios are, but Disney in particular, it's always an event. Like, you know what I mean? They drop like, oh, a new Star Wars series come out. One of the gajillion Star Wars series come out. It's a new Star Wars event. Like, no, it's not. It's just another show. Can we relax? Jesus. Games do that shit too, though. Right? Think about it. When pre-orders go out for like fucking Elden Ring or whatever the next big ass fucking God of War is it's gonna be a pre-order event. The event is get your money and throw it at this thing. That's what the event is. Overpay for this game that should be $50 and pay $170 for the fucking collector's edition that comes with a goddamn plastic helmet and a fucking loincloth that you can wear at your next board game night. That's called an event. That we gonna classify that as an event now. Word. All right, you're full of shit. You're all full of shit, marketing people, and I know it's y'all. I know it's y'all. Just keep the pharmaceutical people out of it, please, because it's just gonna get worse. As we wrap up another episode of Greasy Says, we always gotta make time for a little bit of Medicate and Meditate.
Medicate and meditate.
This week, on Medicate and Meditate, I want us to switch our thinking. If you're a marketing guy or gal, I want you to do me a favor. Every time you have an idea for a product or some cool shit you wanna do, take a second and just think with your heart and not be a clown. I'm begging you all. It only takes 2 seconds to just use your mind and your heart together to make grown-up decisions that won't hurt our children. Yeah. Listen, I know people in marketing, okay? Personally, I know you're not all bad people. I know you're just doing your job. I get it. You gotta sell a thing. Selling a thing is hard. All right, I understand that. Just like making a thing is hard. And it's usually hard for me to watch something I make get sold. Because if you're someone who makes shit, selling it is usually the worst part. But it's also the part that keeps you from being homeless. So, as much as I don't like marketing people and pharmaceutical company marketing people and advertising agencies in general because they're just made of lies, there's a reason for the lie. And that's the problem. That's what we gotta get down to. Why do we need the lie? Why? Ask yourself. Anyway. Greasy people. Now, hold up. I gotta tell y'all to jump on Greasy Says at gmail.com and tell me, how do we get away from advertising? Because the shit is not right. So how do we get past this shit? How do we get to the Star Trek level of personal, mental, societal development that we no longer need to advertise? We don't need products to make us feel whole. We don't need that dopamine hit the same way. We find it in other places. Hit me up, Greasy Says at gmail.com or on social media. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Like I was saying, Greasy people. Thanks for coming out. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, give me feedback. Tell me there's a spider on me.
Not again.
And until next time, it's me, Greasy. And I'm checking out with the room key. Laters.